Checking is what makes checking OCD what it is. And in this video, I'm going to be explaining the compulsions that we fall into when it comes to checking OCD, whether it's physical or mental. What's going on, everybody, man? Appreciate y'all tuning back into the channel. If y'all haven't already been, make sure y'all subscribe and turn on post notifications so y'all don't miss a beat when I upload. And as y'all can see by the title, we're going to be talking about checking OCD compulsions. Now that I'm, looking at, the videos that I'm doing as far as, for this series, I think what I'm going to do is like mash the triggers and the trigger and obsessions and the compulsions part of the video together, because I feel like, the videos be too short, and then, I think it's really just that the video just be too short. And I feel like there's no point of just separating both of the, both of those things, because there's just no point. So yeah, before we get too deep into this video, man, make sure y'all follow me on all my social medias. I'm gonna put them right here. And yeah, let's get into this video, man. If you new, you may be asking, what are compulsions? So when it comes to OCD and, the triggers and obsessions that we experience, we fall into these things called compulsions, where they basically give us, reassurance about, a certain episode that we are facing. It relieves the anxiety, the fear, the doubt that we are feeling. And yeah. And when it comes to compulsions, there are two types that you can fall into. You can either fall into physical compulsions or you can fall into mental compulsions. Now, when it comes to physical compulsions, this can look like hiding items, avoiding people, places, or things, excessively washing your hands, excessively praying, and stuff like that. When it comes to mental compulsions, this could be changing your thoughts, ruminating, constantly, repeating words or phrases in your mind, and yeah. Now that we have a better understanding of what compulsions are, let's get into some checking OCD compulsions. Now, before we get into that though, I know I keep holding y'all up. I promise y'all this is the last hold up. I just want to give y'all a reminder that OCD is not one size fit all. So if I don't mention any compulsions that you fall into in this video, it does not mean that you don't have OCD. It does not mean that you don't have checking OCD. These are just a few common compulsions that, that are talked about a lot in the OCD world. And yeah, so keep that in mind. Now let's get into these compulsions, man. A physical compulsion that you can fall into when it comes to checking OCD is you physically checking on something that your intrusive thoughts are fixated on. And for example, that I'm going to bring from my first video that I did on checking OCD, if you haven't already checked that video out, is, let's say, you're dealing with an intrusive thought surrounding, you not turning the stove off after using it. And, you're gaining, this extreme amount of doubt that, you didn't turn it off. And, you just, you're receiving all these intrusive images, of, your house burning down because you didn't turn it off. So for a physical compulsion, you get up and check if, you turned the stove off or not. This can also tie in with the other example I had in my first video, where I was saying you was dealing with intrusive thoughts about, your door being unlocked, after you came in or, left out. And, you started gaining, intrusive images about, someone breaking in your house, or, your pet getting loose. And for, a physical compulsion, you go back and check if you locked the door or not. Another physical compulsion that you can fall into when it comes to checking OCD is recording a video or taking a picture for proof. So for the stove example, like I said, you're dealing with an intrusive thought that you did not turn the stove off, and then you get intrusive images that your house may burn down. So you get up to, check if you turn the stove off. You seen that it's off, you decide to take a picture or, a video for proof that you did turn it off. So the next time that you experience these intrusive thoughts, you have that video or picture for proof. Now, a mental compulsion that you can fall into when it comes to checking OCD is ruminating. And for example, we're going to do the stove example again. You're experiencing these intrusive thoughts about, the stove not being turned off. So you are, ruminating on your past steps to see if you actually turned the stove off, and you're trying to, make it make sense that you actually did it, and, you have nothing to worry about. And yeah. And another mental compulsion that you can fall into is repeating a word or a phrase in your mind. For example, let's say you're dealing with an intrusive thought about, your door not being locked, and you start to gain these intrusive images that someone may break in, or your dog or cat or pet, may want to go off. And to ease the anxiety, the fear, and to relieve you from the doubt that you are, feeling, you're constantly telling yourself in your mind that you locked the door, there's nothing to be worried about, you're safe, no one's going to break in. You're constantly telling yourself this to, relieve the fear and anxiety and doubt that you have. And that is just a few common compulsions that someone with checking OCD fall into. Like I stated in the beginning of the video, OCD is not one size fits all. So if I did not mention a compulsion that you fall into when it comes to checking OCD, it does not mean that you don't have checking OCD. It does not mean that you don't have OCD. These are just common, compulsions that someone with checking OCD falls into, and this is what's commonly talked about. So yeah, that is the end of this video. I hope this video was informative. Like I said in the first video, I hope anybody that that is dealing with checking OCD feels seen, because you are seen. I hope this helped you. I hope this helped you in any way, shape, or form. If you're someone that's new to OCD, you just trying to learn about it, I hope this was informative to you. I hope this helped you, help someone else that may be dealing with OCD. And yeah, like I stated in the beginning of the video, I will be doing, I will be talking about everything in one video. So I'll be talking about the triggers, the compulsions that we fall into, because, I feel like these videos may be too short, depending on the, the subtype, I don't know. I may do it, I may not do it. I think I'm going to do it, but yeah, I appreciate y'all tuning in the video, man. If y'all haven't already, man, make sure y'all leave that like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, turn on post notifications so y'all don't miss a beat when I upload. And yeah, if y'all haven't already, make sure y'all follow me on all my social medias. I'm gonna put them right here. And yeah, also, if y'all haven't already, check out my last video right here where I was playing Dead by Daylight. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all I'm stepping back into my gaming bag. I want to show y'all that despite having OCD, you can do whatever you put your mind to, and gaming was one of those things I wanted to do. Gaming was a career that I, was chasing, and it wasn't just my OCD, but my OCD was one of the main reasons why I stopped. And yeah, but that is it. I appreciate y'all once again, and yeah, as always, I'm gone.